Good afternoon, Scott. You well?
Okay, all good, thanks, mate. All
Weather's
good.
better.
Yeah, not raining, not as windy. Wasn't like that yesterday.
How is everybody? Anybody missing from last week? Anybody back from last week?
We're pretty much the same, to be fair. So everyone squad what probably went out last week will probably be the same squad this week, really. So no new injuries other than the ones what are obviously suspended this week, but we're pretty much clean on that.
It's an intriguing game, and the one afterwards as well. Fulham and Bournemouth, two of your old sides. How much are you looking forward to these games?
Well, I'm looking forward to them. I know there's obviously there's a link there. Obviously, manage both them clubs, so looking forward to them just for the fact that it's another game for us to obviously go into a Premier League game. Certainly, the next one being at home as well. So excited about that. But of course, there's I have some real fond memories of being at Fulham, not only as a player but certainly as a coach as well. So looking forward to them.
Without wanting to overstate it, if it's a situation though where they may be in that little mini league with yourselves at the bottom, do you sense that there's even a little bit more pressure on this type of game? Because maybe your fans didn't expect you to beat the Arsenals and the Chelseas and the Liverpools, but this is a sort of game where they'll be thinking, we've got to win this.
Well, yeah, for sure. I think that is the case, and we're at home as well. I take no real look at, like I've said before, in terms of the league table, but this is a home game for us, which we're going to go into and obviously try and get a result and win. So, and that's where we are. We're on a little bit of a run at this present moment in time. We're working tirelessly to try and correct that. And the next opportunity for us is Saturday, 5:30 at home with our home fans as well and our home supporters. And it's a game that hopefully we can go and execute some of the real good things we've done this year, polish up on the things that we've what have probably let us down in certain moments, and put in a strong performance that hopefully can get us a result.
I guess when people saw how the game developed last weekend and then the red card, maybe people feared the worst in the second half. What encouragement did you take from the second half?
Well, I took massive encouragement, to be honest with you, Peter. I took massive encouragement over the whole course of the game. I thought we started the game excellent in terms of the team we want to be, in terms of a more an intent about us. We was that. The game goes away from us a little bit, and at that point down to 10 men, I think it's really clear that game could turn in maybe a different way than what it did. Down to 10 men for large parts of that second half, you probably wouldn't have noticed it. And there was a fight and a spirit and a doggedness about us, what we needed to be, while also as well a real a threat in the game. We get ourselves back in it, and then we obviously the last chance, it was very close, but overall, like I said, I was hugely pleased with that positive. Again, I understand that we didn't get a result. I totally get that, but there was many things at the weekend which give us all great hope, and it didn't surprise me saying that as well. I know what this group are, and I know what they were, and that was exactly how I see it.
And in a way, when people at this stage look at the league table and may begin to doubt whether you might be able to survive, are Fulham and Bournemouth a good example of how, if you like, the smaller club can make it in the Premier League if they get the recruitment right and everything else? Yeah,
for sure. Look, there's always a lot of factors in that, and them factors, when you look at it and you break it down, they're constant learning for a club like us, that you're looking at other clubs of the same stature or the same circumstances what they faced, and both these clubs have faced that. So they're constant references certainly for a club like us to look at them, and there's many other examples as well. But yeah, that's what you're constantly doing. We're constantly learning, constantly trying to improve, learn from your mistakes, because they happen, and that's part and parcel of this quick football world that we're in. But we learn from it and certainly look at others to see where we can improve as well.
It has all the makings of a fairly high pressure situation. If that's the case, how important are your experienced players? You brought in Carl, you brought in Martin. The experienced voices, how much do you lean on them in the dressing room?
Well, I lean on them a lot, really. And of course, and ultimately I sit in that position and I give that example, and I try and send that message of what exactly we need to be. Senior players in any team are crucial, really. These are the boys what are in the pitch, on the pitch, and at certain moments need to make decisions that are good decisions or the right decisions. Experience obviously gives you that. You can make better decisions with certain experiences because you've got know-how. And these guys will be fundamental for us this year. They were at the start of this season before we even kicked a ball. They will be now, and they will be all the way to the end, really. So there's always, from my side, a big emphasis around them boys to obviously step forward at certain moments, show leadership qualities for sure, and bring a young group together as well, and educate on the pitch as much as we do off it.
I know you've talked a lot about the young players developing. Is there a concern that, judging by the way the games have gone in recent weeks, that they're just not developing quickly enough?
Might be the case, mate. I don't really see that at this present moment in time. I see a group that have picked up things, developed things really, really quickly. Again, look, I understand from my position and from our position in terms of them players maybe not even recognising it, because why? Because we haven't won games over the last 5 games or 6 games, whatever it is. But last year was exactly the same. I've been involved in football for a long period of my life, and the similarities are there for sure. This is a progression and progress, and I get that maybe that sounds fluffy. I understand that, but it's just the cold, hard reality. The cold, hard reality is, along any journey, any season, any journey in life, there's some bumps and there's some adversity, and maybe the modern day world is maybe not allowed us to embrace that adversity or deal with that in certain moments. We want a quick fix, and we want an instant click of a finger for something to be put right or done right, or expect certain people to execute in certain moments. That's just not the reality. Whether you like it or not, speaking with experience, that's not the reality. And sometimes you need to go through a bit of pain. Sometimes you need to accept where you need to improve. And that doesn't mean that you just step aside and move on to the next one. But with a commitment, with a hard work, with a desire and a passion, and a hard head at times. Certainly in the world these young boys live in, you need a concrete head at times, because there is a lot of noise, and that can produce doubt, and that can produce a lack of commitment through doubt. I don't have that in this group. I honestly don't have that. I have a group here, a young group, that can accept at times where we're falling short. But trust me, every single Monday we come back in and debrief or accept certain areas. I've got a group that look up, face up, and go again. And with that attitude and with that desire, you have a chance in terms of progressing and becoming better. And I see that in this group.
And you're at home. How important are the fans on Saturday night?
Well, they're massive for us, to be honest. The fans are crucial, and they have been crucial for us for large parts. And again, I echo what I just said there, really. I understand in this moment in time, there's a fan base, a hard-working fan base that come and pay their hard money to come into a stadium to support this team, and fundamentally desperate for a result. And we're equally as desperate. You know, we're committed more than ever. We're literally a group that are coming into that stadium fundamentally wanting to get a result and please everyone. We need their full backing. We need their full support. We did them right behind this young group, through thick, through thin, and we need to make this place, and we need to make Turf Moor a real difficult place to come. And I'm hoping that will be the case at the weekend.
Thanks for your time.
Cheers, Pete. Thank you.
Scott, I know a couple of weeks ago when I was here, you spoke well about how much Kyle Walker's brought to this club, this squad, over the course of this season with his experience. Again, there you've just spoken about the importance of your senior players, particularly in games like you faced this weekend. Of course, he's going to be suspended, so not available on the pitch. How big a gap does that leave in the starting 11 and what you're able to do on Saturday?
Well, I think it'll always leave a big gap, no matter what team Kyle Walker's playing in. To be honest with you, there's always going to be a gap there, because he's quality, he's experienced, he's understanding a certain situation. So, of course, he's going to be a miss for us at the weekend. I still think he can add something to us, and he will do, and I've seen that this week in terms of his general aura around the place and helping this young group. It gives another person an opportunity as well. But yeah, look, of course, a player of Kyle's ability and what he brings will be a big miss for us.
And looking specifically at Fulham, what are your thoughts on them? Because they've endured a bit of a wobble in their own form recently. What do you expect on Saturday?
As always, a tough game. A team that have been together for some time, and Marco's done an incredible job there, really. A really good side, well-coached team. So yeah, like I said, Every Premier League game you go into is a tough game, and the opposition always pose you problems, and you, as a coach and as a team, you're obviously looking to try and pose your own problems on them, really. So we're in for a tough game the weekend.
Are you superstitious? Do you believe in omens?
Not really, no. Why are you going to give me one?
If I told you that in 29 home league games, Burnley haven't lost to Fulham going back to 1951, is that something you can use this weekend?
It wouldn't be something I use, no. I mean, look, it's nice to hear, of course, but it's not something I use. Every situation changes and every situation is different. I'd love it to be the same, and that's what we're planning to do.
I'm not going to ask you to give any secrets away, but in a game like this, what is the message you give to the players when they step out onto the pitch? What is the minimum you expect them to approach it with?
Well, I think it was always my last message, like anything. You build the week up in a tactical element in terms of us and what we need to be and how we can pose problems. And always a riding message from me at the back end of a week or going out before a game is the level of commitment we need to show. And that's exactly what we need to be. And we need to be fighters. We need to represent what this club represents. And that's exactly what would be full-hearted commitment. And, that's the main message.
Best of luck.